Thank you for the introduction. That was beautiful.
Mine is all
I am Ms. Alma. I've been invited to speak to you about defying the odds. Each and every one of us has had an obstacle that we've all had to overcome. I know I should have. I've had plenty. Still got plenty more. Most of you know my story, but just to give you a brief testimony of my life. I was raised by a single mother. Her name was Evelina. She was a beautiful woman inside and out. But Mama had some demons that she was dealing with, some cycles that needed to be broken in her life that she didn't know how to handle. You know, she had been raped by her father. No one believed her. She became manic depressive, which led her to a life of being addicted to crack cocaine. She later passed away from HIV/AIDS. But I will stand on the top of the world and I will let everybody know that my mama loved her children the best way that she knew how. We didn't need for anything. We may not have had everything that we wanted, but there was always food on the table, a roof over our head, and through it all, she kept her babies in church. Even when she could not go herself, she sent us to church. And that made such a big impact on my life because it was through her that I learned what having a relationship with God is opposed to having religion. It's a big difference. But before Mama passed away, she deposited in me some nuggets of wisdom that I didn't understand at the time, but throughout my life I have been able to pull on that wisdom, and it has held me and kept me. After Mom passed, we came here to Florida. I was raped by my dad. He wasn't drunk. He wasn't high. In fact, he was very aware of what he was doing. When it all came out, no one believed me either. You know, I became manic depressive, which led me to a life of selling drugs, doing drugs. I myself was addicted to crack cocaine for about 1.5 years of my life. It wasn't until I found myself in federal prison that I was able to come to terms with who I am and what I have been through, and realize that there were some generational cycles operating in my life that needed to be broken, because I became determined that it was not going to happen in my children's life whenever I do have children, you know. So that has become my life's purpose. So defying the odds and overcoming adversity has been something intimate to my life, something I know all too well. But it all came down to 5 principles. And what I want to give you, I don't want to leave you just with a sad story. Someone told me, Alma, you have such a sad story. And I say, you know, the devil is a liar, because I do not. I have overcome all of that. So to me, it's not a sad story. It's a story of strength, and that's what I'm up here to give you. So the 5 principles that I'm going to lay in your spirit are principles that you can take with you wherever you go. Principles that will help you defy the odds and help you to learn how to dream again. I believe that there are 2 types of dreamers. One is the lazy dreamer, and one is the active dreamer. The lazy dreamer, when dreams hit your spirit, you talk yourself out of the dream. And you say, yeah, I can do that, but no, I can't do that because I don't have this much money, and I don't have the money to make that happen, and oh, because of what I've been through, I can't do that. And then on the other hand, there's the active dreamer, the one who says, okay, Lord, thank you for that dream that just fell in my spirit, and whatever I got to do, I'm going to manifest it and make it happen in my life. So principle number 1 is consciousness. In order to defy any odd or any adversity in your life, you have to be conscious and aware of the odd that you are facing and the adversity that you need to overcome. To be conscious and aware of the adversity and of the odds really means that you have to be conscious of who you are and what you're about. So you have to find out what's your life's purpose, what's your life's work, what are your passions, What are your desires? What is it that you want to do? How much money do you want to make in your lifetime? All of this is what you need to know to defy the odds and overcome adversity so that you can learn how to dream again. Once you become conscious and aware of your purpose, you'll realize that life does not have a right to overwhelm you with circumstances. I'll say it again, life does not have a right to overwhelm you with circumstances. You have a right to stand in your stead and be who God has called you to be. Some may call consciousness clarity, but I have a bit of a problem with that because it's hard to be clear about your life when you're not present and aware in your life, when you're not present and aware in your life. So you want to be conscious about your life work, what you want to do. And to be conscious means you're becoming conscious and aware of your life so that you can design your life, so that you can design who you want to be, so that you can make the decision on how much money you want to make in your lifetime, so that you can make a decision on what type of legacy you want to leave for your children. Principle number 2, competence. There's an old adage that says, the time to have the map is before you enter the woods. As you become conscious and aware of your life's work, of your passion, your desires, your purpose, you begin to build the ability to dream. And what I mean about dream is you getting into a quiet space, you being able to meditate and see your life 5 to 10 years from now. See yourself living your best life right now, and see the steps that you need to take to live your best life right now. When you come out of your dream world, you execute. You're not coming out to be passive and say, okay, yeah, that was a good idea, but maybe in a year or two I'll do it. No, you're coming out to execute the steps right now so that you can be the best person that you are called to be. But many people, when a dream hits their spirit, a lot of excitement comes with the dream, you know, and it makes you want to run out right now and say, let's make this happen yesterday, you know. So you run out into the woods and you go on this path and you take this path, and then you find yourself lost in the dark woods with no way to navigate yourself back to the light, all because you didn't study the dream, you didn't study the steps, you didn't study what it was going to take to make your life successful, you know. So you need to have a map. Having a map is just preparing yourself for the dream, studying your craft, acquiring the knowledge that it takes to be successful, and building your skill. Talent is not enough. Talent is not enough. I can remember I was in hair school and I really wanted to get my license, and there was this young lady, and I admired her and her work, you know, and I remember one day I was doing someone's hair and she walked past me and she was like, talent ain't enough. Well, okay, a little shade, but you know, that stuck with me, and you know, instead of taking it as shade, I used it to build me up. I'm going to show you talent, work, skill, and knowledge now. You know, so build your competence in whatever it is that's supposed to be your life's work. Principle number 3, commitment. And this is where a lot of us fall off the bandwagon, because in order to defy any odd in your life, it's going to take another level of commitment. You can't get to where you want to go with your current level of commitment. Now, you may say, Alma, I'm conscious and aware of my life. I know my purpose, my desires. I've been building my competencies, and I have a map. But when life starts to push back on you, you know, you give up. Or perhaps you don't give up. You know, you keep going, okay, I'm going to do this. I got this. But then the pressure gets real heavy. And you give in for a minute. And you say, okay, when this test passed, I'll pick the dream up and I'll do it again. You know, perhaps you don't give up, you don't give in, and you see some success in your life, and you're making the ball roll, you're manifesting your dream, but then you relax a little bit. You're not as enthusiastic in your drive as you were before you saw the success. That's not going to work either. Because for one thing, life isn't giving in to your success. And the enemy and giving in to your success either. Yeah, see, even in your success, the enemy has an attack set up for your demise. So what do? You pump up the volume. You pump up the volume and you make the commitment to show up in your life every day to defy the odds. So to pump up the volume, you have to have a dogged determination to not walk into your destiny, not jog into your destiny, but leap into your destiny and lay hold of your dreams. Make them your reality. Principle number 4, connection. Check your first 5. Who are you connected to? You should have a list of at least 5 to 7 people who can mentor or coach you into your next level of success. And you say, well, okay, I don't have anybody to ask to be my mentor or to coach me. But have you asked anybody? Have you asked someone that, hey, can you help me in this area? You know, so are you failing in the asking, or are you failing in the allowing your pride to get in the way? The list of 5 to 7 people needs to be, it can be your business partner, prayer partners, whomever, but it needs to be someone who can look at you and assess you and say, hey, why don't you tweak this a little bit? Or why don't you step it up in this area just a little bit? It need not to be anyone who's comfortable with seeing you as who you were last year this time. It needs not to be anyone who's comfortable with seeing you making the same amount of money you did last year this time. And I've learned that God has a way of using people, those least likely people, to tell us about ourselves, you know, to hold a mirror up and say, this is you, yes. You know, and we can either internalize it the wrong way and say they're being critical, but in reality, that's not what's happening. God is actually calling us higher when he uses those people. So get your list of 5 to 7 people who can coach you and mentor you into the next area of your life. Number 5, you have to be praised. You have to have a level of ambition within you that stems from the very essence of who you are, whose you are, what you're about, and how it is that you desire to exist and proceed in this world at all times. Take a look at yourself, and wherever you are right now, in this moment, give yourself credit for who you are. Even if you're overwhelmed about the past, even if you're overwhelmed by the present, if you're overwhelmed about the future, just give yourself credit for who you are in this moment, and then begin to think highly of yourself. Begin to think higher of yourself. Build a bigger vision for yourself. You know, can't nobody do it but you. Don't limit yourself based on what you did or did not accomplish yesterday. You know, build that vision for yourself and then work towards it, because you can dream and you can grow into the person that you desire to be. You can defy the odds, and you can do that now from where you are right now. So build, you can develop new talents, new skills, new competencies, new dreams. You can make a new reality for yourself, but you have to tap into your ambition. And you know, I noticed that church people, and I love them because I'm a part of them too, but they have a way of confusing ambition with greed. But God gave us a promise that said, I will do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask, think, or imagine. And I do not for once think that he just gave that promise to the person who thinks here. No, he also gave that promise to the person who thinks here. I can do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask, think, or imagine. So if one person wants the BMW and I want the Bentley, he told me he can do exceedingly abundantly. Yeah. So Bentley Continental, here I go. Because I want that. Yeah. So recap, decide to be more conscious and aware in your life. Number 2, build your competence, build your skill. Number 3, pump up the volume and your commitment to show up in your life. Number 4, stay connected and get connected. Don't be afraid to ask someone for help. And you certainly cannot be afraid to pay people for their information if that's what it's going to take you to get to the next level. Number 5, be praised and tap into your ambition. Truly, I thank you all.